Welcome back to Pokemon Colosseum. At the end of the last episode, we finally made it to the very top of the building in Pyrite, only to find that Silva had been beaten up by this guy, or at least beaten in a battle, and taken hostage by two mysterious women who we just defeated in a battle as well. And now, it is time to take on Mr. Goggles over here. He looks like a creepy fellow. Oh, I get it. You guys weren't new recruits, but just intruders. The guy earlier was too weak for words. How about you? Are you going to keep me amused? Well, we're going to find out, sir, because we are taking you on right now, and it is the battle with Hunter Dawkin. I wonder if he's familiar with that old 80s group, rock group from long ago. I'm sure no one watching this even knows who that is, but he is going to send out a Qwilfish and a Goldeen. So it looks like he's specializing in water types. We have just the antidote for that. We're going to send out Espeon as well as Flaffy, and it looks like he has a shadow Pokemon, and it is Qwilfish. Now, kind of interesting, if you glance at the screen here, obviously, you can see that we are actually having this battle out on the, it looks like down on the actual ground in Pyrite, even though we clearly were just located on top of the roof moments ago. So kind of interesting how they do that. I always thought that was like a glitch or just something they never checked before, you know, finalizing the game or whatever. It's still kind of cool. But it would have been nice to kind of see like some rooftop action a little bit, but to each their own. We're going to take out Goldeen very simply now that Flaffy has finally learned Thunder Shock, which is still a pretty weak move overall, but it is the only offensive move Flaffy has at the moment other than Shadow Rush. And it's nice because we can actually use a super effective attack on water types and of course flying types now, so not too bad. Of course, Flaffy will learn a much better move, Thunderbolt, once it evolves and levels up. But we are just kind of, still a little ways away from having that happen. So we're going to deal with what we are given here. Goldeen goes down with no problem. It's now time to capture Qwilfish. And he's got a third Pokemon, and it is a Linoone. So we've seen one of these before. We are going to take it out very, very easily. Something I actually wanted to point out, and I actually did some further research on, is I was actually incorrect and made a huge mistake in a previous episode way back in Phoenix City. It's kind of a random point to kind of bring this up. We lost Espeon, unfortunately. But I actually made a mistake talking about the running person that runs around that fountain in the very center of Phoenix City. I actually briefly mentioned that was a girl that was one of the civilians that helped get Rui out of the bag and was the one that held the bag open with Wes and got her out of there. That was actually a boy, and his name is Dash, and I kind of just learned that like very recently here. I had no idea that was actually a boy character. I don't know what made me think it was a girl. Shame on me for misgendering that NPC, but yeah, it is a guy. His name is Dash, and he likes to run around fountains in Phoenix City. He's an athlete, so he's the one with the cast form. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that a little bit and kind of point out that huge mistake. I am going to make mistakes here and there, and I've already kind of done that already. Also with kind of talking about Miror B, kind of his position within the Cipher organization, how he was like the kind of the head honcho, and that was obviously incorrect. It's crazy how you can play this game so many times and still get information wrong or just say the wrong thing. So it's going to happen from time to time, but I'm going to do my best to, moving forward, try to prevent it as much as possible. But sometimes your memory just kind of slips, especially when you get to the age I am. But looks like Quagsire has been poisoned. One of the drawbacks of attacking Qwilfish head on is you will suffer from its, I believe it had a poison point ability. Can't remember exactly what it was, but it's not going to stop us because we are still going to aim for victory. Linoone's a little defensive here at this point. Typically not one of the harder Pokemon to take out in the game, but at this point it is a little bit tougher because we haven't really gained enough experience to be strong enough to kind of take it out easier. So we take out Linoone, and now it's just Qwilfish. So it is actually paralyzed, so we did get the Flaffy's static ability activated there when it attacked it earlier, so luckily that helps when catching a shadow Pokemon or any Pokemon in general. You want to make sure that they are asleep, or if you can, of course, try to put them asleep or paralyze them. That will greatly increase your chances of capturing them. So we're going to go ahead and try it now. We're going to throw a great ball at it because I'm feeling like this is going to be a great catch. That was a horrible pun. I won't do it again, I promise. Alright, we're going to go for the capture. It shook once, it shook twice, it shook thrice, and it was a catch. It was successful. Alright. We have captured Quillfish. Yeah, after that Remoraid issue, I'm going to do my best not to let that ever happen again. Hopefully it doesn't. That was fun. We win 500 bucks. Not a bad deal. Battling you was fun. That's good enough for me. If you want to go through, go right ahead. All right. I'm glad we got the permission from one of the crooked thugs in the Cypher organization. But if he says we can do it, we might as well. So let's enter the cave at last. And it's a little spooky, creepy, and quiet in here. 3 combos I really am not a fan of. Looks like we have some ovens cooking in here. I'm not exactly sure what these are. I guess they power something inside of here. It's a cave. I'm not really sure what it... Maybe it's probably something related to mining equipment. I have no idea when it, anything when it comes to like mining or people that do that or have done that, I guess, in the past. I don't really know a lot about it. But we have somebody here. Yeah, you're finally here. This floor is my territory. I can't let you through. We have a street performer, Symes. This is actually an optional fight, so I might actually end up cutting out a lot of these, or at least a few of these optional fights. You don't have to fight this trainer, and I think there's a few other trainers in this place that you can avoid as well. But we'll see what we can do here. We'll show as much as I think is meaningful. So she has an Anorith and a Lotad. Nothing we can't handle. We got Slugma to finish off Anorith, so it actually does become useful finally. Slugma is not a complete useless Pokemon like most people would think. And we're going to finish Lotad off with a Thunder Shock, and we'll do a Shadow Rush in case that doesn't do it, but it should. And it goes down, not bad. And that does it for Street Performer Symes. Oopsie, I lost. Sure did. You don't want to talk smack unless you can back it up, girl. That's my motto. You're a surprise, but I'm not telling you where Miror B is waiting. We're going to find that out ourselves. It's time to finally go downstairs now that I have healed my Pokemon again. Go down here. Looks like there's nothing around the staircase, but we have a trainer up there. Once again, we can avoid him if we want to. We're just going to pass him on by. Pay no attention to that crooked scallywag over there, whatever you want to call him. I don't know. I'm just coming up with all kinds of crazy terms for these guys. We have another staircase right here, but before I go up there, I want to see what's up here because I think there's actually items we can get first. And we have a required fight. Hold it. Don't you think you're going anywhere? Oh, well, I think we are, Twan. Rider Twan. Get back on your horse, Twan, and ride the hell on out of here back to the Wicked West. He's going to have a Meditite and a Bagon. 2 Pokemon we have seen before, of course, so we know how this fight's going to go. We're going to try to give Slugma a little bit more love here. Looks like it is pretty much all the way opened up, at least the door to its heart. Flappy as well, pretty close. But we have a Shadow Pokemon, and it is Meditite. Not a bad Pokemon to use on a team if you're going for a Medicham at the end of the day. It's a pretty decent psychic attack, psychic Pokemon. I'm pretty sure it has a pretty high special attack once it evolves and levels up some. So not a bad Pokemon at all. And I do believe it does come with the item Twisted Spoon, which does power up psychic attacks, so not too bad. If you're going for it for your main team, I probably would say it's a good choice. Put the little monkey to sleep. And now we end it with the flames. Just kidding, we end Bagon with the flames. Bagon's such a unique looking Pokemon. I always thought it had like slicked back hair. The way that its armor on its head kind of looks. It always reminded me of like a slicked back little rich kid with like slicked hair or something crazy. But now we have a Numel being sent out. We don't really have anybody out on the field that's really effective against it. But we are going to just use Shadow Rush on it. And we are going to catch the Meditite because of course it's a Shadow. We have it asleep. We did use Yawn with Slugma. That put it to sleep. So very nice to have the move Yawn. I'm probably going to allow Slugma to keep it for the rest of the game. Quagsire knows it as well, but that's not going to be a main move I'm going to keep on Quagsire. We caught Meditite, goes into the PC with the rest of our friends that we've captured and saved from these crooks. Not too bad. Slugma still takes a few punches here and there. Looks like it is getting stronger. And I hope that doesn't do too much recoil damage. Let's see. Okay, still survives. We're going to go ahead and switch out because I do not want it to lose out on any experience, and it's probably going to go down in the next turn. But I'm finally glad that we got some use out of Slugma, and it is actually participating in more battles. And that's one thing I am going to try to make sure I do more of, is include Slugma. And some of the Pokemon I don't think are going to be like the highlights of my team. I feel good about every member of my team, and we haven't even found the sixth one yet. But overall, I think it's just nice to have, you know, a nice rotation and just to kind of switch them out to allow everybody to have an equal share. I'm going to do the best that I can as far as doing that in this Let's Play, and we're going to see how it goes. But yeah, Slugma had a nice opportunity there to kind of gain a little bit more experience. So we're going to do that. But Quagsire's up now. Obviously, this is a better choice for Numel. We can just take it out with Surf since that is quad effective against it. Numel is fire and ground. But you can't lose when you're using a water move against it, especially Surf. And knowing that it has like no health left, so. And it goes down. We took out Ryder Twan, and we shut his Pokemon down, just like he said. My Pokemon have won a knockout challenge. You're no average trainer for beating them then. You got that right, buddy. Everybody thinks that they can just know everything about us by looking at us. They judge us left and right, claim that we're some rookie trainer, but we are actually experts, believe it or not. We have another staircase actually descending up here in the top left corner of this area. We have another trainer here. We can actually walk past him to get an item box, which contains a full heal. Not bad. Full heals are nice when needed. I find myself not really using a lot of them in this game, though. I will say that. All right, just keep trucking along here. We have some stairs. We can go down. However, I want to actually go back this way and backtrack to the staircase that was over here because I think we want to go this way first. There's it's kind of interesting. You have a couple of different paths you can take in this place. There is one required path, but there's actually an optional path you can actually technically miss that has more items along it, and I think that's this one. Let's see what we have here. No trainers in that wall, or in that path there. I bet, yeah, we have somebody here. Okay, we have a girl here. I think we can actually still get by her. Can we? Oh, I like how she's still looking around like, oh, where are they at? Where are they at? Like she didn't just see us. We have a guy right here. This looks like a required fight. Can we get behind him? No, we can't. Oh, maybe not. Wait, is he not a battler? Here's an item box. We can pick up this. Ultra Balls, 3 of them. Very nice find. Those are very nice to have for later on. We have tougher Pokemon. Haha, too bad for you. You're at a dead end. Miror B's not here. Ah, he was a trick. He was a trick. That damn Noxie. Noxie guy. Oh, and of course he's got more low tag. Great. We've never seen that before in this cave yet. 2 of them. Awesome. All right. So we're going to finish off these low tad. Take one out with Shadow Rush. That'll do the job. And what do you know? Another one. He's got a 3rd one. That's awesome. I love it. Gotta love it. Okay, so this guy ended up having a total of 4 Lotad. Very cool. I love how he's really adding a lot of variety to his team, isn't he? I think he is. He must be having or playing in some sort of party where he can evolve him eventually into Ludicolo, maybe like Miror B, I don't know. Savaged. Maybe. Another 500 bucks for that chaos that we just ensued on there. Just ensued there. Yeah, you sure are strong, but you're no match for Miror B. Well, I guess we're going to see about that, because we're going to eventually find this guy if he is located in this cave like he said he was. But I guess that does it for that part of the cave. We might as well talk to her and face off with her. I'm just kind of curious. Whoops, roadblock. This is a no-through street. Didn't see any signs, lady. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to trespass in places where... No, who am I kidding? I did mean to trespass. You guys stole a Plusle. I mean, are you serious? She's gonna have a Geodude, and what do you know? A Lotad. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. Alright, so she wasn't too bad. She ended up having a Slack Off and a Snow Run as well, so she wasn't just a a Lotad specialist like the other guy just was. So at least we had a little bit more variety in the Pokemon we were fighting. Espeon grows a level 34. That special attack is just rising up to greatness there. I love that. It's over 100 now. And that is Espeon's bread and butter for this, so perfect. Black Off goes down, and that's going to do it for this fight. No shadows, though. Crashed out. Yeah, I think we've heard something like that before, haven't we? Always gotta have an excuse for why you lose. Miror B is unbeatable, you'll lose. We'll see. We will see. We're gonna head back to. We're gonna head back this way now that we have cleared that path. And it's time to go back down these stairs right here. There's no other items that I can see. Alright, time to head down the stairs. And we are back down here again. So we went up here last time. We fought this dude already. So heading back to heal my Pokemon, I went ahead and actually fought this guy by that item box we passed up, or that item box that we got earlier, but we passed this fight up. He is optional. Just wanted to see what he had, and I don't know why I'm even acting like I'm shocked at this point. Slugma for the win. The underdog comes in clutch in this cave. That wasn't too bad. I'll be punished for this. Never mind getting reward. Ooh. That sounds like an awful time working with this Miror B guy. Just saying. I'll pretend that I never saw you two. Consider yourselves lucky. I mean, I think we are, knowing that we don't have to work for such a cruel monster that it sounds like this Miror B is for punishing his own recruits. But now it's time to finally head down this stairway. And what do you know? It looks like we were like in the sewage of the cave or something. I don't know what the hell this is. It's like an underground, yeah, like sewer tunnel or something. I'm not sure. We have a few different paths that are kind of impossible to get through. This is obviously broken up. We can't get over there. We have a bunch of canisters here, a bunch of water. This is definitely like deep down into like the mines in the ground. Like this is crazy. Let's see here. Long bridge with a woman there. She's eyeing us. She's eyeing us. Welcome to here. This is where you're going. Ryder Sosh is up for battle. She's going to send out Dunsparce and Mareep. Not too bad. We're going to counter that with Espeon and Slugma, of course. Slugma has been really really pulling through for us in this cave area. I never really thought it would, I mean, this much. But she has a shadow Pokemon, so the next one up for grabs is Dunsparce. That sounds like a horrible way to describe a creature that was horribly infused with some shadowy aura in its heart. We are here to save it, so, you know, I think we are allowed to joke a little bit since we're doing such a... I mean, this is such a dangerous thing to be doing. Like, imagine, like, if this was like a real-life situation and you were, you know, your task is to free these animals that have been injected with like this poison that makes their hearts all dark. Just the sound of that sounds terrible. Like imagine in like Wes and Rui's point of view, like how scary this situation actually is. They have to have some, you know, they have to add some sort of humor to the situation. Like this it's just creepy. Like this whole, I mean, I couldn't do it for sure. Like if this was real life, I would be like, nope, I'm done. But they're just pulling through. Like they're in this cave, you know, grinding it out, you know, with their Pokemon. Like I'd be scared shitless and peeing myself, but they're doing it with their heads held high, so I guess we have to have a little faith in them, right? But anyways, Slugma has taken a little bit of damage there. We're going to utilize Espeon's return, finish off Mareep. Poor thing. It kind of makes you feel bad for the Pokemon that they have, even if they're not shadows, because any of the Pokemon that are stuck with these trainers are really not... They're really not probably having a good time right now. Looks like Slugma went into hyper mode. She does have a Cacnea as well, so Slugma can make fine work of that if we have a chance to attack it. We're hoping we do. We still have to focus on capturing Dunsparce. This one I remember being a little bit tougher. This thing is a pretty defensive, believe it or not. This is kind of a weird Pokemon because from what I remember, I know this Pokemon is very hard to obtain in like the regular handheld games, or at least the Game Boy games, and maybe even the DS games. But in this game, it kind of shows up out of nowhere, and it just kind of comes off as like this very defensive Pokemon. Okay, so here's a prime example of a shadow Pokemon actually recalling themselves into their Pokeball if they are in hyper mode. I think it's the first time we've actually seen that happen. Kind of funny. If that does happen, you are forced, unfortunately, to switch out to another Pokemon. You can't cancel it. It's just part of the hyper state and one of the, unfortunately, one of the symptoms of the hyper mode. So we're going to have Flaffy come in for Slugma to finish the job. And of course, it's going to go into hyper mode as well. And that's one of the prime examples of what I was talking about with hyper mode kind of being, you know, very unpredictable, very confusing to work with if you're not used to battling in a Pokemon game, you know, while dealing with it. It can be kind of unpredictable and just very chaotic at times where you could be, you know, essentially on the verge of a victory, and we just had Flappy taken out, unfortunately. On the verge of a victory, possibly, and you could still have that come up where, you know, your Pokemon just will not obey your commands or go back into their Pokeball or get confused or attack. I think they can even attack your own ally. I don't know if I've seen that many times in any of my playthroughs, but pretty sure it can happen. So we're gonna go and not waste any time and just call Slugma back to its senses. I know it can get a little bit more powerful while in hyper mode, but I just kind of want it to do what I say, like it should, like a good boy, like a good Slugma. And we're gonna see how this goes. Let's be honest, so paralyzed, that's kind of annoying. Yeah, Slugma hopefully will obey us this time around. I'm going to go ahead and use... do I have any paralyzed heals? Do I not? Okay, I guess we're going with a full heal then. We'll go ahead and apply that to Espeon's paralysis because I kind of just want to get rid of that. It's kind of annoying. That way we don't have to get slowed down from attacking as much. We're going to go... we're going to hit Cacnea with the flamethrower since it is a grass type. And we're going to see what we can do with this. This should finish it. And it goes down. That's great experience right there. Now it's all eyes on Dunsparce. Yeah, overall, again, I'm not really the best person to probably listen to when, you know, recommending certain Pokemon for your team. I just know that overall, I think Dunsparce is probably not the best. I've never used it on any of my teams in any of the games I've ever played in the series, so I can't really speak too much for it. I just don't think it's that great from what I remember. I think it is somewhat defensive, but from what I remember, it does have quite a bit of weaknesses, so... I'm going to go ahead and throw a Pokeball at it and just see what it does. I don't want to waste too many Great Balls yet if I don't have to. We're just going to see what happens. Just watch. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, it worked. Nice. I'll take that. I actually was not thinking that was going to work, and it did. Oh, Sosh doesn't know what to do. I love how she's referring to herself in the third person. No way, no way. I'm supposed to beat someone as strong as you? They must be joking. Apparently they're not. Sosh, alright. Apparently you misunderstood the rules of what it means to be a true member of Cypher. So here we finally have a nice little rest area. We have a healing machine as well as a PC. So this is a perfect time to heal up your Pokemon from rest. You don't have to actually backtrack all the way out of this place to go and heal. Very nice. I love that they put that in there. But I think this is a great point to go ahead and stop the episode. We have a path up here that we can't take. It looks like it has been blocked off. We have some item chests up there. So it looks like we have a way to get over there, just not from where we are. But we're going to figure that out later on. So for now, I think it's a good place to stop. So next time on Pokemon Colosseum, we are going to finish out the rest of this cave, locate Miror B, and hopefully save Plusle and defeat Miror B in the process. But until then, I will see you later.